What are class-based components? What is a life cycle in React? What is the difference between class-based component and function-based component? And oh, this one is my favorite. What are life cycle methods? These are some few questions interviewer usually ask in a front-end interview. So let's try to answer them all. Now before starting this tutorial part, a quick warning. If you have studied OOPS before, then it's going to be super simple for you guys. But in case you are one of those oddballs जिन्होंने OOPS को टच भी नहीं किया आज तक, तुम लोगों के लिए ये थोड़ा मुश्किल हो सकता है. Now teaching OOPS is outside the scope of this course, so I won't be doing that today. But even what should I do then? Should I learn C++ or Java? Well, no. Here's what you can do. Number one, you can learn OOPS in JavaScript. There are a lot of tutorials on YouTube. और this is what I would suggest. कि ये tutorial देखो, I am not teaching OOPS, but जो भी मैं use करूंगा वो मैं explain करता चलूंगा थोड़ा थोड़ा. But अगर फिर भी तुम्हें समझ नहीं आता है, then you can go and watch some OOPS tutorial. Come back to the video afterwards. So first thing first. Let's create a React app using Vite. So just type npm create Vite. Mention some project name. Select React. Here, although I really want to use TypeScript, but for the sake of keeping this tutorial simple, I'll go with JavaScript. And boom, we have a fresh, crispy React application. Now let's open this project on our favorite text editor, Vim. No, I'm just kidding. I use VS Code. I mean, I can use Vim. It's not that hard. Please work! I don't know how to exit Vim. Anyways, here we have our fresh React project. तो अब देखते हैं ये हमें क्या देता है. So on terminal type npm install and then npm run dev and click on this blue link. And done, a fresh clean React project. Now this is not what we want. So let's delete all this garbage bullshit. Now it looks clean. अब सबसे पहली चीज जो हम करने वाले हैं वो है इस सोर्स फोल्डर के अंदर एक कंपोनेंट फोल्डर बनाना. Inside which we are going to create two components, functional component and class component. Now let's work on functional component first. Let's say हमको यूजर को hello render करके देना है. To do so we can simply return an h1 with hello text. Simple, right? Now if we import and place it in f file, we get a hello on the screen. Now how can we do the same thing in class based components? Let's see. So the first thing we have to do is import component class from React. अब ये component class क्या है? Well, it's a base class जो कि हमें React provide करता है. And इसके अंदर वो सारी functionalities and properties होती हैं जो कि हमें एक component के अंदर चाहिए होती हैं. अब हम इससे drive करके एक new component बनाएंगे. And here comes our first OOPS concept, inheritance. Inheritance का मतलब simple होता है, जा थड़पना, but not forcefully, प्यार से. So to simplify this, we can take an example of a man. A man can have 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs, and a dick. Excuse me, sir. I don't think you should be saying things like this on YouTube. What? You don't have a dick? No, I do. Then shut the fuck up. Anyways, where were we? Yeah, typically men have 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs, and a dick. Unless you listen to Taylor Swift, then you probably don't have a dick. Now we also have a special kind of man which we can call a pervert. A pervert is also a man. He also have 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs and a big dick. But he also have an additional property called pervertedness. And as we can see, a pervert is also a man. But a man isn't necessarily a pervert, although all men are pervert. So if we were to code it out, we could create 2 completely different objects, one man and one pervert, and define all the properties separately. But it doesn't make any sense. As a programmer, you should always follow DRY principle, and which is don't repeat yourself. So here we use the concept of inheritance. We can say, this pervert is also a man. He also have all the properties of a man, but additionally he will have more properties. And this, my dear students, is called inheritance. Now back to the coding. To actually implement inheritance, we have to use extends keyword. So we type class component, extends component and curly braces. By the way, class is just a keyword provided by JavaScript to define, a class. Just like how we define a function using a function keyword, in the same way we define class using class keyword. Now, how do you read this entire statement? You say this class name class component is a children of component class. So all the properties which are there in component class will be available here as well. In properties के अलावा हम और भी properties declare कर सकते हैं, but ये property तो होंगे ही होंगी. अभी you must be wondering कि although we have inherited this component class, but इससे हुआ क्या? अब देखो, we don't need to know everything about this component class. At this point of time, we have no idea how React is actually using it. Hey kid, you wanna know a secret? I'm going to teach you how this exactly works in the future video. But for now, just look at what I do. Our objective is to greet the user right now. Therefore, render hello on the screen. अब ये करने के लिए we are going to define a method by the name render. अब हमें जो भी एलिमेंट इस कंपोनेंट से रिटर्न करना होता है वो हम यहाँ रिटर्न कर देंगे. Just like how we return an h1 tag in a function component, we are going to do the same thing here as well. Return h1. Now let's see if it works or not. So we import it in the app component and put it here. And voila petit, it works. Congratulations. You now know how to make a class component which can render things. Now let's do something a bit more complex. We want to create a component which can take a name as a prop and render it on the screen. And how about instead of me doing all the work, you do it yourself. Modify this functional component to take a name as a prop and render it on the screen. What, you thought it's going to be like a movie? You doing nothing, me doing all the work? Well, as a hardcore lazy ass procrastinator, let me give you a word of advice. You don't learn much if you don't do it yourself. So do something. So I hope you have done it. If you haven't, you are a bitch. Fine, I'll do it. To do so, we have to take props as a parameter of this function. And while returning the h1 tag, we are going to access this props.name property, which we are going to give at the time of placing it. And we have hello Chinchinmaru. Now, how can we do the same thing in class-based component? Let's see. Just like in function-based component, we are going to give props directly. Name equals to something something. Now to access it, all we have to do is use this keyword. So we just access it like this dot props dot name, and that's it. Pretty straightforward. But अब ये this keyword कहाँ से आया? Well, this is this. I mean, yeah, this is actually this. So this is this. Okay, I'll stop. So here is the time for oops concept number 2, this keyword. Now before that, we need to first clarify what is the actual use of a class. A class is actually like a template, which means एक क्लास के अंदर हम वो सारी चीजें बता सकते हैं जो हमें चाहिए. For example, earlier हमारे पास एक main class थी. In that we had properties like 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs and a dick, and maybe it can run. तो अब हम ये बोल सकते हैं कि ये सारी की सारी properties variables की तरह है. Eyes equals to 2, hands equals to 2, legs equals to 2, dick equals to small, or in my case big. And this run property will be a method. And by the way, a method is just a function which belongs to a class. Same shit, different name. Now, using this class, we can create objects. And if you know JavaScript, you know what objects are. To create an object, all you have to do is type const jake equals to new men. अब यहाँ पे new जो है वो एक कीवर्ड है जो कि हम यूज करते हैं क्लास से ऑब्जेक्ट्स बनाने के लिए. And here's the magic. We can create more than just one man. So we can create const Cain equals to new man, const even equals to new man, and 1000 more if we want to. And हर human independent होगा एक दूसरे से. So if we change Jake's property, let's say उसका एक हाथ उड़ा दो, then Cain के उतने ही हाथ रहेंगे. Now हर ऑब्जेक्ट के पास उसका खुद का एक this कीवर्ड होता है. Jake, Cain, even सबके पास this कीवर्ड है. Even का थोड़ा बड़ा है. I mean this keyword. Now let's look at the run method we have created. What if हमें number of legs print करनी है एक आदमी की? Something like this. console.log this man is running with dash number of legs. Although हम access and console log कर सकते हैं legs property को directly, but that's not the right way. The right way is to use this keyword and print something like this. console.log this man is running with this dot leg. Now what will happen? If I run this method with even, then here even's legs will be printed. And if we do it with Cain, then Cain's legs will be printed. See, ऐसे use करते हैं this keyword को. So this keyword will be representing each object individually. Now let's go back to our class component. Here, since this is extending component class, it's this keyword gets access to the props object directly. Now you may have a doubt, and that is कि इसका हमने कोई object तो बनाया ही नहीं है, तो ये काम कैसे कर रहा है? Well, look at this app component. We are placing this class component as an element. अभी क्या होगा? React will see this, and behind the scenes it will create an object. And React को जैसे भी props पास करनी होंगी, वो कर देगा. हमें सिर्फ props देनी है. React will take care of the rest. Now, congratulations. Now you know a little bit more about OOPS and class-based components. Now let's make it a little bit more complex. Let's create a counter. So here again, a very simple challenge for you guys. एक component बनाओ counter function करके, and उसके अंदर तुम्हें एक counter and 2 बटन बनाने हैं. बहुत बेसिक चीज है. I think you will be able to do it in 1 minute. Okay, hopefully you have created it. अभी मैं बनाता हूँ. To create something like this, all you have to do is add a useState hook, create 2 buttons, and add onClick event on each button. One for incrementing and one for decrementing. And that's it. You have a counter. Now people, how will you go about doing this in class-based component? Don't worry, it will be a little bit more complex, but it won't be that hard, I promise. Okay, so first, let's create the counter class.jsx. Now we import component class. Create a class with the name counter class, which of course extends component class, and let's create a render method. Let's verify whether it works or not real quick. And it's beautiful, just like me. Now we need a state, but how do we do it? can we use useState here? And the answer is absolutely no. You can't use useState in class-based components. As a matter of fact, you can't use any hook in class-based components. And why exactly we can't use any hooks here? Well, believe it or not, initially React में hooks नाम की कोई चीज ही नहीं होती थी. Instead, React had lifecycle methods. But lifecycle methods are hard to work with. So React introduced hooks and functional component in 2019. And now nobody uses class-based components. Khair, now to create states in class-based component, we have to use oops ka concept number 3, constructor. Now what in the world is a constructor? Mystery. Well, that's correct, but no. A constructor is basically just a method, but ये थोड़ा special तरह का method होता है. So earlier we understood that using a class we can create an object. Let's take the old example again. Main class. So we have main class and we have created an object even out of it. Now until now even gets default values like 2 hands, 2 legs and so on. But what if he was born with 3 legs? What to do then? We can just modify the values. Make legs equal to 3. Simple. Well, that's one of the ways to solve this problem. But a better way would be to, instead of giving default values for legs and hands, we ask for it each time we try to create a main object. And this is where constructor comes into the picture. So constructor is just a method which is executed each time an object is created. So if we were to make a constructor in main class and console log hello, then each time a new object is created, hello will be printed to the console. Now this constructor can also take parameters like legs and hands. So inside the constructor we can specify that this dot legs should be equals to legs and this dot hands should be equal to hands. Now whenever we create a new main, we specify how many legs and hands we want our main to have. So I can make even have 3 legs directly. Now back to the counter. So unlike functional component जिसके लिए React कोई भी object नहीं बनाता है, class based components के लिए React को objects बनाने पड़ते हैं behind the scenes. एंड जो स्टेट्स होती हैं वो हमेशा कंपोनेंट के रेंडर करने से पहले इनिशियलाइज होती हैं. सो इट काइंड ऑफ मेक सेंस दैट स्टेट्स आर डिक्लेयर इन द कंस्ट्रक्टर. So first we create a constructor and then inside the constructor the first thing we do is call super method. अब ये super method क्या है? वेल सिंपल बोलूँ तो जैसे हमने इस क्लास के लिए एक कंस्ट्रक्टर बनाया है वैसे इसकी पेरेंट्स क्लास यानी कि कंपोनेंट क्लास के अंदर भी एक कंस्ट्रक्टर होगा. नाउ वी यूज सुपर मेथड टू कॉल द पेरेंट्स क्लास कंस्ट्रक्टर क्योंकि हमें कोई आइडिया नहीं है कि कंपोनेंट क्लास के कंस्ट्रक्टर के अंदर क्या है. सो हम सीधे उसको बता देते हैं कि हमारा कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल हुआ है एंड उसके अंदर हम कुछ करने वाले हैं एंड मुझसे पहले तुम्हें जो भी करना है वो तुम कर लो. नाउ अब एक स्टेट को डिक्लेयर करते कैसे हैं? वेल जस्ट लाइक प्रॉप्स अगेन वी यूज दिस कीवर्ड. तो अभी कंस्ट्रक्टर के अंदर वी आर गोइंग टू सेट दिस डॉट स्टेट टू एन ऑब्जेक्ट inside which we are going to provide a count property. And now to use it in the render function we are going to put this dot state dot count in h1. Now we are going to create 2 more buttons to increment and decrement. But how should we go about changing the state? Well, in React, states are immutable. So just like how in functional component, we cannot directly mutate a state. Instead, we use setter functions. Just like that, in class-based component, we also get setState method, which we can use to set the state. Now, since states are immutable, we cannot directly mutate the object. We have to provide a completely new object to this setState method. Inside this, we are going to spread our state property. And if you don't know what spreading is, well, learn JavaScript, okay? If we spread this state property inside this empty object, then all the properties of the state object will be copied into this new object. After destructuring, we can then override the property which we want to mutate. Now let's implement decrement function as well. And our counter is ready. But here we have a tiny problem. What if we want to have multiple states? For example, what if we want to have another state for keeping track of the temperature? Then how are we going to do it? Well, in functional component, we can just create another state variable using useStateHook and that will be it. But here in class-based components, we can only make one state variable and that's it. So what to do? Well, it's simple if you think about it. Add more properties into that state object. I personally hate this idea because it makes the state management very hard and confusing. And this is one of the reasons why people stopped using class-based components. But it is the only way to do it. Now, let's move to the final part of the equation, lifecycle method. Now, what is a lifecycle? In a component, there are different phases it goes through. For example, when component gets mounted, meaning it is rendered on the screen for the first time. Now, this component may re-render when its states or props values are changed. And then there is also unmounting, when the component is removed from the DOM tree. Now, React gives us control to handle these events. So we can do something whenever a component is mounted or unmounted or whenever some particular state changes. Now let's take an example to understand this perfectly. Let's say I want to fetch some data and display it to the user. How are we going to do it in a functional component? Well, if you know React, जो पहली चीज तुम्हारे दिमाग में आई होगी वो है use effect and that's correct. So let's create a functional component list function.jsx. अभी इसके अंदर कुछ रैंडम डेटा फेच करते हैं फ्रॉम सम रैंडम वेबसाइट एंड टू फेच द डेटा आई एम यूजिंग एक्सियस। अगर तुम्हें फैच यूज करना है तुम कर सकते हो। आई पर्सनली यूज एक्सियस बिकॉज इट मेक्स इट super easy. So npm install Axios. Now to get the data, I'll create a state called data. Now we want to fetch data only when the component is mounted. To do so, we can use useEffect which takes a callback function and array of dependencies. And since इसको हमें सिर्फ एक बार ही execute करना है जब हमारा component mount हो, therefore we are going to give it an empty array of dependencies. This should do it. Now inside this useEffect, let's make a request to JSON placeholder API. Oh, and JSON placeholder API is just a free API जो कि तुम्हें data देती है. Let's fetch some data and set the result data to the state and also handle error if in case there is one. Let's see if it works. And yes, it works. Now, how can we do this in class-based component? And of course, that is by using lifecycle method. We have a lot of lifecycle methods, but you only need to know important ones. And those are component did mount, component did update, component will unmount, constructor and render. Now, इनमें से दो methods तो हम समझ चुके हैं, तो अभी हमें सिर्फ ये तीन समझने हैं. To implement fetching of data, again we are going to create a property called data inside the state object. Just like before, we want to do it when it is mounted. So we run component did mount method inside which we are going to copy paste the same Axios request, and instead of set data we will put this dot set state, and then just like before an empty object, and first destructure the entire state, then set the data property to the data we are going to get. And let's render it using render method. So here this component did mount is doing the exact same thing as useEffect function with empty dependencies. Now let's talk about cleanups, क्योंकि टट्टी करने के बाद साफ करना बहुत जरूरी होता है. So let's say you are creating an interval timer जो कि हर सेकंड में यो प्रिंट करेगा. We know for a fact that it is very important to clean up the timer whenever a component is unmounted, वरना वो चलता रहता है. And a lot of time गलती से multiple timers भी बन जाते हैं, which can cause some very unexpected behavior. Now to prevent it from happening, we use cleanup functions. In the functional component, we can create something like an interval using a useEffect function. Now by any chance अगर ये component unmount भी हो गया, for example maybe we have multiple pages on our website, अब हम किसी और पेज पर जाएंगे तो ये component हट जाएगा, but ये टाइमर अभी भी एग्जीक्यूट करता रहेगा. Anyways, implementing a cleanup function in functional component is very simple. All we have to do is ये जो use effect हमने लगाया है जिसके अंदर टाइमर है उसके अंदर ही हम एक callback function रिटर्न कर देंगे, and this callback function will remove the interval. अब जब भी हमारा component unmount होगा ये cleanup function कॉल हो जाएगा and thereby ये टाइमर भी हट जाएगा. Now let's implement the same functionality in callback function. Now to do so एक टाइमर वेरिएबल बना लेते हैं, and just to be clear this is not state. State बनाने के लिए हमें this dot state के अंदर डालना होता है, and if we don't put it there it will only work as a normal variable and not as a state. And what is the difference between a state and a variable? Well, whenever a state variable is changed it will cause re-render, तो हमारा component जो है वो refresh होगा. But on the contrary, if a variable's value is changed then nothing will happen. Our component will still remain the same. Anyways, after creating this variable, we will use component did mount and उसके अंदर एक इंटरवल बना लेते हैं and इसको असाइन कर देंगे हम टाइमर को. Now cleanup function के लिए हमारे पास एक लाइफ साइकिल मेथड होता है which is called component will unmount. अब इसके अंदर we are going to remove this interval and that's how we do cleanups in class based components. And lastly, जिस लाइफ साइकिल मेथड के बारे में हम बात करने वाले हैं वो है स्टेट चेंजेस के लिए, component did update. Now there are a lot of times when you want to do something if a state is changed. Let's take the example of counter. Let's say I want to console log it's 3 whenever the counter's value becomes 3, and whenever it is not 3 I want to print it's not 3. In the functional component we can do it very easily. We just make use of useEffect जिसकी डिपेंडेंसीज के अंदर हम डाल देंगे अपनी काउंटर स्टेट को. Now whenever the state is changed this function will be called, and now with the help of if conditions we can check whether the state is 3 or not and print the message accordingly. And to do the same thing in class based component we are going to use component did update, and this component did update gets two arguments, previous props and previous state. And whenever the props value or a state value changes this function will be called. And अब देखो we may have multiple states और multiple props but हमको सिर्फ count के लिए respond करना है. So first we need to determine कि हमारी count वाली state change हुई है या नहीं, and to do so we will use previous state argument. तो अब हम ये check करेंगे कि if previous state dot count is not equal to this dot state dot count, इसका मतलब है अगर हमारी प्रीवियस स्टेट की जो काउंट वैल्यू है अगर वो सेम नहीं है हमारी करंट वाली काउंट वैल्यू के साथ, दैट मीन्स हमारा काउंट स्टेट चेंज हुआ है. एंड नाउ वी कैन प्लेस द सेम लॉजिक विच वी हैव प्लेस्ड इन फंक्शनल कंपोनेंट एंड थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे चेंज कर देंगे, एंड लेट्स सी इफ इट वर्क्स और नॉट. नाउ व्हाटएवर आई हैव टॉट यू अप टिल नाउ, इन सब का कंसेप्ट समझ लेना, दैट्स इंपॉर्टेंट। सिंटैक्स तो चैट जीपीटी से भी लिखवा लोगे। द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज कि वेदर यू नो इट और नॉट, वेदर यू कैन एक्सप्लेन इट और नॉट,